talk about. You want to say whatever you want to talk about.
Light?
I want to film mine.
No, I'm gonna do mine.
Is mine even filming right?
Deleted the best part, bro. Like,
That was not the best part.
Like, you even deleted the part where we were just talking about veins.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Like,
Actually, you did. It's no longer there.
no, I didn't. You gonna cut that shit out.
What more do you want from me, bro? She said 9, but in 2 days she's turning. Jump way too low. Damn, that was nigga's tight, bro. You can bump that. Dot after dot, you just can't get
Nigga. That was not a dot. That was over the neck.
I know what you're talking about.
The fuck is so funny, oh?
Dude. Somebody said I look like Baby Gronk. I look, you see.
No! Why?
I gave you a better pass just before that, and you didn't get it. So. Damn, I'm on my Britney shit. Oops, I hit again. Damn, I'm on my DJ Khaled shit. We the best. Bang! The shooter! Nah, cause why'd you pass me all the way over there?
Why would you do that?
Just to, that's what Nolan does in practice.
Well, it's only us two. It's not like there's a line of people waiting behind me.
Still, that was a horrible pass. Justin's probably gonna scream at you if you do that to him, bro.
Who?
Justin? He's cracked at Fortnite.
Nah.
Oh, 7th grade. Or was it 8? I don't remember. I think it was 7.
That shit had power.
Is that a good set?
A tiny bit high.
Kill yourself.
It was good, but like a little bit higher because I couldn't get.
That was the one you literally pushed it.
Hmm?
You went pushed it. Like,
There's no way.
that's serious.
I don't see no breeze.
You don't see a breeze? Oh my
I don't
god.
feel
you
no
stupid.
breeze, motherfucker.
Yeah, go fetch. Oh my god.
Nigga.
Oh wait, that hurts. Oh my god. Oh, oh. Oh shit.
What the fuck? You can still hit it. My mama Britney shit. Second game. Yeah, my mama DJ Kelly shit. We the best. Yeah, my mama hella deep.
Lucky there.
I think now's the perfect time to talk about the book I'm reading. So the House of
No.
Leaves, right? It's made by Mark, but holy shit! Inside the book,
I don't care.
it's made by
That shit
Zen,
already distracts me.
and the dude who annotates it a little bit is named Johnny Trueheart. Now, Johnny is a good for nothing, just like you, and falls in love with strippers and goes to bars to get drunk with his friend Lou.
Do I fall in love with strippers and fall?
Yes,
Go to bars to get drunk?
you would.
No, I wouldn't.
So one day,
My fault. Bro, if you fucking talking, bro. Fuck that book, nigga.
well, I have to remember anyway, so I have to say it out loud. So Zampano, he dies one day, and Lude and Johnny go to investigate. And when they went in, he was dead. The next night, Lude was mad that he didn't want to die alone like the old man did, and was sick of the life because bro falls in love with strippers and bars. So one day, Johnny got curious and hopped inside the dead guy's house. Oh, mind you, old man died alone with like nothing to his name. Only thing inside his house, which is a bunch of rubbish worth $300 in total. But he went in there, Johnny went in there, and found. Alright, hold on. Alright. He found a bunch of papers. Some words that, oh my god, some words that you could read and some words that were like uncomprehendable. And he was confused that why the old man kept all that stuff. And he seemed so obsessed with it because that's all he did. Also, when he was in the house, he realized that inside his room, there was no clocks or lights, even in the refrigerator. And he was confused by that until he realized that the old man, he was blind. Which oh, I'm surprised you did that. Which was surprising to him because he always had people over to read him a book, and he also wrote a bunch of stuff with just his book, like with words instead of braille. So suddenly Johnny, he started like going to his room more to see all the writings, and he was like becoming more and more interested with all the writings that was there. Bruh. So soon, like every day, he started coming in there more and more and more. So some days he just lost track of time. And he was in there for like damn near the whole day. And it takes Lud to call him saying, yo, let's go to a bar or something for him to like get out of that trance state. So a couple like times passed, and Johnny, he's read most of it, but he's been reading it, and some stuff still doesn't make sense to him. And it skips a bit, and it shows him in a hotel with a gun. And he doesn't know why he has this gun. He just knows he's gonna have it to shoot it, because that's what you do with a gun. And he's in this hotel, and there's people at the bottom. He doesn't know why those people are there. He just knows that he's in a hotel. And yeah. So he then tells you that when you start reading, oh, so the old man, all the papers were about this book called The Navidson Record, which is a documentary. But, bro,
I love that.
so it's a documentary, but it's the manuscript, so it's just words, right? And fuck. And basically, he was so obsessed with it, and he had like notes when reading it. The thing is, Johnny, he went to look it up. There's no trace of the Navidson Record, and he keeps talking to people saying, "Have you heard of it?" They'd never heard of this thing called the Navidson Record. So Johnny then, he's now curious about this book and tells you that God, he tells you that you can read it with them, but some stuff's just not gonna make sense. And also, that there's a bunch of notes in it, like him talking and the old man talking. The thing is, I think Johnny, he writes in Times New Roman, and Zampano, he types in Courier.
Corinthian?
No, it's like Courier, like Courier. He writes in that font. So you can tell who's talking just by checking the font. And the book starts. So the Navidson Record is about. Pass it to me. So the Navidson Record's about this family that moved into a house. It's a dad named Navidson, the mom, I forgot her name, and 2 kids. The son is 3 years older. His name is, I forgot, and the daughter's name is Daisy. So they've lived in this house, like they just bought it. They're checking it out, and they've been. Oh yeah, the husband and the wife, they're in a great relationship. So now they left one day to see a wedding in Seattle, and when they came back, there's a random doorway in the north of the living room that was just empty. There was nothing in it. And they confused them because that was never there. They also realized that the interior was a 1/4 of an inch bigger in the inside than the outside. And because of that, Navidson, whose nickname is Navy, he called his brother Tom, who works on houses, and asked him if he could check this out to see if it's just him being wrong. They both checked it out. It seems that is to seem the case. So they go to some other dude's house who has good machinery, and they check it, and it works. During this time, the wife has a friend who wanted to help with her like claustrophobia. So she distracted her with making a bookshelf. Now this bookshelf, it has no sides. So it's just the front, top and bottom, but the sides, there's no walls. So they fill the books up with books, and when they take it out, they put it in the corner so that when the books do topple over, they hit on the walls. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Huh? Dang, I passed that. Anyway, so the wife, when she takes a book out, it falls over like a domino, and it hits the walls. And it doesn't fall on the floor because it's connected to both sides. It's in the corner. So it touches both sides and doesn't fall. So when Tom and Navy come back, they check out and realize that the 1/4 of an inch is gone. So that's good, right? Then Tom, he gets a book from the bookshelf, and they all topple over like dominoes until when the last one falls, it falls to the ground instead of the wall. And the wife screams because that means that that side of the wall just grew a half an inch bigger. So where it was supposed to touch the wall, it didn't, which is very concerning. So this puts the wife on edge. And yeah, that's only like one part, because fucking, what's his name? Johnny, he's like a little crazy. Because for some reason, in between the book and like each chapter, where he writes his footnotes, that was good. In his footnotes, he writes a big monologue about his day. Like one time, midway when you're reading about the family, this dude starts talking about how he realized that his shower was cold instead of hot. And it's annoying because you hop in the shower naked, hoping that the water's gonna turn hot, but it stays cold. So it's just like an inconvenience. And then he says that, sorry for ranting, but it's just something I wanted to talk about. And that's just like the stuff that he talks about in between each chapter. Then moving on. Ever since the incident with the wall being bigger, the wife's been on edge, and this makes the husband's like adventurous and curious, so he wants to check out like the weird hallway, since it just seems different. Wife is like, no, you shouldn't. And one of the chapters, this is a long ass book, mind you, like big as hell. It's a novel, so it's just straight words. Damn. So when you check it, the first 8 pages of the 5th chapter talk about the mythological god of echo, and for an echo to happen, you need space, right? So. So, it has to be exactly fixed in the book. It says it has to be exactly 56.5 feet long for an echo to occur. And that's what basically it says in 8 pages. So, then it brings you back to the wife and the husband being on opposite sides of the house. The mom is upstairs in her bedroom. The dad is downstairs in his office. And they both hear their 2 kids start screaming. And then it gets louder and louder to where they can't just like ignore it. So they both,
Oh fuck, my ball.
they both rush over to the living room to see a long ass hallway that's 65.5 feet wide. I mean long. Making it able to echo. And their house, or the living room, is only 20 feet long, so it shouldn't be able to echo. But this, bro, this
I thought it closer to it's going like more.
so the living room, literally, the hallway literally grew, and it's able to echo. So, God. So the husband rushes in, and gets the 2 kids out of the hallway. And the wife is like freaking out now, and wants it to be locked up. So the brother gets called in. And he closes up the door, and it has 4 locks on it. The colors are red, blue, green, and yellow. So he locks the door, and when he came over to fix it, the door wasn't echoing anymore. It shrunk back to 10 feet, which is crazy because it wasn't even there to begin with. Also, on the other side of that door is the outside, so it being able to go 56 feet long is damn near impossible. So puts in the last key, which is the red key, to lock it. It echoes. So then he opens the door to check to see if it's still long, and it goes back to 10 feet, just to fuck with him. So they rush back. Oh, a couple days later, the husband and the wife have some friends over, and they're flashing, having fun. And one of the guys were like, "Yo, you need to have a dark room in here. This house seems so bright." And the guy, they're all a little bit drunk, because the guy was like, Navy, he was like, "You want to see a dark room?" So he shows them, the hallway. Oh, it's called the 5.5 minute hallway. Deep as hell. He shows them the hallway. Both of his guests, they leave immediately. And the wife is upset and kicks him out. Because she never liked that hallway, because she has like extreme claustrophobia. So he's now sleeping on the couch in exactly 3:16 a.m. And he's curious. Oh, also, I told you that the Navy, he's a photographer, so he has a bunch of cameras around the house. And every time something happens, the cameras don't catch it, which is crazy. And also, the wife and the husband both said on their camera, the wife said, "If my husband keeps trying to act up with the hallway, I'm gonna leave and take the kids with me." And the husband said, "If she keeps acting like this about this hallway, I'm gonna eventually check it out." So the husband, he checks it out at 3:16 in the morning. And when he goes in, he has a flashlight and a camera. He walks in, and he can like see not see the end, but he can just see with his flashlight.
Oh man.
Bruh. So he starts exploring it to realize that the room is about 10 feet wide and 20 feet long. But at the end, there's two doors, one to his left, one to his right. He opens the right one. It's 15 feet wide. The roof is 10 feet tall, and it goes on for about 60 feet. So he can just barely see with his flashlight. And then he opens the door to his left. The roof is 20 feet high. He can't tell how far the fucking room is, and it's about 15 feet wide. So he realizes how big this damn house is, and that is literally insane. And when he closes the door, he can't see where he returned from. So he turns around, it's dark. He turns around again, he doesn't see the doors. He's realized that inside this hallway, it's always moving. The roof, the floor, and the walls. Everything is moving all at once. So he starts tweaking out and realizes that he didn't put a marker. So he puts a penny down, he starts walking, and then realizes he's going nowhere. Turns back around, picks up his penny. Then he starts screaming for help. He calls his wife, he calls Tom. They don't respond because he's in a fucking hallway. Until he hears his daughter crying out at the end. So he sees the light at the end of this darkness and decides to run over to it. So he runs towards it, and his daughter, she's there crying, and then the wife comes downstairs saying, "What happened?" And it's like, "Oh, Daisy just had a bad dream." And then she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry for leaving you, like letting you sleep down here." And she takes him upstairs, and then they go to Pound Town. Real shit. Because they were talking about how like they weren't being sexually active because of like the incident with the hallway. But yeah, they went crazy that night. Then the next morning, his daughter came up to him saying, "Dad, I want to play a game." And he was like, "Which game?" She said, "Always." And he was like, "What?" And then he tickled the back of her neck, thinking that it was just to always like he just did it in a friendly way, to always like play with her. And then the old man, he has his notes. So in the note he said, "Always" sounds a lot like what a 5-year-old would say to say hallways, which is just fucked because the daughter wanted to play the hallways game, but just couldn't say it correctly. That shit was insane. Anyways,
That's it? That's all you read to?
hold on.
Oh,
In between all this, Johnny, he also talks about his life, and he got a job as a tattoo artist.
closer.
And the stripper that he falls in, like, has a crush on, is the boss's girlfriend, and he nicknames her Thumper, because she has a tattoo, like, right above. I think it's her
Dude.
abdomen, I guess. And he just names her Thumper. What? All right. So you want it shorter?
Nah, it's good. Keep setting it like over here.
All right, I'll just stop setting it. It's hot. So, yeah, he has a crush on Thumper, and that's like his motivation, damn near every day to go to work. Just the chance of seeing her. So he pulls up, and then sees all that. And he's really good at like bundling needles. That's low key like I don't know. It's like someone bundling the needles. So yeah, he does that, and he has a basement. So he goes down to the basement. He comes back up with all the needles. Then he starts seeing something in the corner of his eye. Mind you, I'm leaving a bunch of stuff out. If you actually read the book, everything makes much more sense. But I'm leaving so much out because it's just hard to explain. Like, you have to read the book for it to be interesting. Like, super interesting. And he sees something in the corner of his eye, and he thinks it's gonna take him. Fuck. So he has a panic attack and falls down the stairs. And he thought he shit himself and pissed himself, but it was just the ink that was on him. And his boss checks on him to see if he's alright, but he's fine. He just had a crazy. He thinks it was the book that's like fucking him up right now, but an editor who I do not know who it is because their font isn't in the regular font. He says maybe the book isn't shit. My bad. Maybe the book isn't what's making him crazy. At the end of the book, there's a section of the letters that his mom used to give him. Mind you, Johnny's an orphan because his dad died, and apparently his mom was in a mental institution because she was good, and then she gradually became crazy and then became normal again. And between all this, she always sent him letters. My bad. So she always sent him letters from since he was a jit till he's like an adult. So there is every single letter that she gave him is in the book. And one day, the mom was like, she was like, yo, the next time I send you a letter, it's gonna be coded. He was like, what the hell? So he gets the letter. This letter is like 10 pages fucking long. And I didn't read it because it was so long. But a dude, he analyzed it. And apparently, every single first letter of each word was in a combination of words, which basically said that at this place that she's working at, every, like, once in a while, she doesn't know when because she's, like, going crazy. Every once in a while, she gets raped by someone who works there. Sometimes it's a manager, sometimes it's someone who helps her, and sometimes it's just random people, but she doesn't know who. But she knows every once in a while she gets raped over there. And she had to decode it so that, like, the people who checked it didn't, like, take her. So, the guy, he never did anything with this information. But later on, she became normal again and said that she loved the people that were taking care of her. So I don't know if that's her keep going crazy or, like, she was just crazy for that moment. But yeah, that kind of makes you think that Johnny is just genetically crazy. And that's so far how much I've been reading. I'm supposed to read like 2 more chapters today because there's like 22 chapters.
Shit, my fault.
there's certain parts that's like super cool. Like I'm just about to get into the part where like the books start acting weird.
Oh. You haven't gotten to the part where there's a big ass square in the book?
Not yet. But like the next chapter I'm in, or the chapter I'm currently in, like shit starts acting weird. Cause Johnny, he talks about how like in the beginning of before you read the Davidson record, he says that when you're reading this, you feel like like someone's always watching you. And he said, like I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that keep your eyes on the words that I'm writing currently. And the things at the corner of your eyes, think that there's always something there waiting to pounce on you. And think of that every single moment of your life. That something's always in the corner of your eye just waiting to get you. You may not know when or where this would happen, but someday it will come and get you. And that's how he like... Oh, I just feel like doing that. And that's how he described the book. But yeah, the thing is, I explained the book to you so much better than how the book does, because in between each like page, Johnny starts ranting about his life, and then it's the Navenson record, and then he starts ranting more.
You wanna go?
Do you want to? I'm thirsty. I was talking that type of time. But the reason why I've been wanting to talk about it so much is so that I can remember. Because I deadass don't want to forget like how interesting this is. I'll forget where I'm at. Because some parts of the book you simply just don't understand. Like there's some parts in Latin, some parts in German, and Spanish. Because the old man, he was a really smart guy, and he knew multiple languages. He was just blind. There's also, never mind.
There's also what?
There's a part where he's getting, a bunch of times in the book, he gets a bunch of quotes and he reads words like in the notes section, which is always at the bottom of the page. He always says where he got like his information from. In this part, he was with a college guy, because a bunch of times he gets college people to work with him. And he was like, yeah, I got this quote, but look in this book and just write down almost every name that you see in this book. So for 2 whole pages, there was a bunch of citations of just random photographers. Deadass, just 2 pages of straight photographers. Is there anything you want to talk about? There's bumps on your wheel.
What? Fuck me up, bro. That's a risk. Hi. What is the thing?
Here's the last one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Stop the recording on both phones.
Alright.
Oh!